Hello everyone, Lakey here, and recently I played on a basic test server for the new Call of Robloxia that was open to the public. It has since been closed. It was nice to play it and get a feel for the games, as so far we've only seen update videos from Lido, and it was nice to see it all happening in action. I really enjoyed playing it even though we only had 2 guns, and it took me forever to realize that you needed to turn off shift lock in order to sprint, so I was running around for quite a while, unable to sprint unknowingly. I thought I just was bugged. So I'm just gonna talk about it, and even though it was a very limited experience, I still feel like there is enough to discuss. So one of the things that really stood out to me was the kill bonuses. I like the way that they've been expanded compared to what Phantom Forces has, and I was getting bonuses for all kinds of things like finishing someone off with my secondary, dying honorably, killing someone mid-air, avenging a fallen teammate, getting revenge, and getting point-blank kills most notably. Of course, there are still things like double, triple, quad, pentakills, and so on with different range bonuses, headshot bonuses, and wallbang bonuses, similar to what Phantom Forces has. I really like that we are awarded for doing unique things in the game. That whole text sequence that follows with the kills is really nicely done as well, and the color coding of XP and names are a nice touch. It's definitely clear that a lot of thought and quality has gone into the small aspect of the game. And then the animations, they felt really smooth. I know a lot of people take one look at these character models and instantly proclaim that this is just like Bad Business, which I don't really understand because, have you even played Bad Business? These are very different games, and to suggest that they're going to be any bit similar because the player models are similar is a bit of a reach in my opinion. Bad Business is definitely more arcadey than what Phantom Forces is like, and I imagine the same can be said for Call of Robloxia when it comes out. Regardless of comparison, the character models are nice, and I expect will even better once animations are done for them. As highlighted in Lido's update video, they do have momentum of sorts when they die, so they'll fall in relation to how they got shot. It was really cool playing on this map where the bodies that were shot midair would fall into the trenches after being shot rather than just dropping straight on the ground where they got shot. They carried their velocity until hitting the ground, which I really liked. It almost added some sense of realism in a sense to it, or it makes sense that seeing those physics happen in action, someone falls down in the way that the bullet was traveling when they got shot, and I think that's super cool, and I think it just adds so much to the game that I don't even know how to put it into words, but I just thought that was really cool. Kind of helped with immersion when you're in the trenches and you're shooting and there's all this gunfire around you and then some dead guy falls on top of you, and then it's just, I like that kind of thing. I'm a sucker for neat little things like that. I also know that the movement and animation system for this game is built from the ground up, and so I was really interested to test it out for myself because I have tried the Capsule Collider way many years ago, and then from watching the videos of gameplay I'd seen prior, it did seem a little like the gravity was kinda off in some things watching someone jump, but this was not the case when playing, and everything felt really good moving around. The gravity didn't feel like it was too much or too little, and it didn't feel like we moved too weirdly or wonky anyway. The only thing that I didn't like was having to press spacebar to get up from crouching, as I'm just used to pressing shift in Phantom Forces. I'm not too bothered by this as controls can definitely change. The gun models are also nice, and if the quality of the recent Tezor family of rifles in Phantom Forces is showing of anything, it's that the quality of the gun models that we're getting from this dev team is only increasing, so I'm just excited to see how that translates to the new Call of Robloxia. I'm a sucker for nice models like that. I just think they look pretty, and I can really appreciate that in a game. Especially when you look in Phantom Forces, you see the models that we have from years ago, and then you see the new ones, and the difference in quality really shows. The character models also having actual hands rather than a singular block arm is nice, as it also means that animations can be better as well compared to what we have in Phantom Forces, which I'm also excited for. And then as far as gunplay goes, I don't really have much to say about this. I enjoyed it, didn't have any issues with it. It wasn't too slow paced, nor did it feel too easy to kill people, and it was definitely harder to kill people at range. I found it really interesting how like the suppression worked. I prefer it. I prefer the way that like your health goes down, how your screen gets less saturated, and I really liked how when I got shot from someone, it would like cause my screen to move. Like if I was ADSing and I got shot from the left, I would move a bit to the right in response to that. So I just thought that was really cool and just a nice little touch that might go unnoticed, but I don't know. I just really like that kind of thing. I'm really interested to see how the gunplay changes when a more extensive selection of guns is available to try out in the game, and see where Stylus decides to go with this, because balance is always a hot topic and people always have one thing or the other to say about gun balance. So I'm interested to see if they will try and differ a bit from the gun balance meta that Phantom Forces has, or kind of stick to the meta that like every gun is kind of viable in a sense. Like there's not one dominant gun that you need to use to really be successful. So I'm just interested to see how the game shapes out from here. And then finally, the map looked really nice. I'm sure you can tell just from the gameplay. It just looks really nice. I love the grass that is on it. I'm just here for those little things, man. And that Roblox water is just chef kiss. It's beautiful. I love the Roblox water. That's like the one aspect of Roblox terrain that I like, is the water. So it was nice to see it in there. And it did seem to be kind of D-Day themed, and I don't know if anyone remembers the old D-Day map from the old Call of Robloxia, but that map was crazy unbalanced, so I hope that the new D-Day map, if it happens, will be better. And I've mentioned this to a couple people now, just talking with friends about some of the older Call of Robloxia maps and how maybe possibly some of them could get revamped and put into this game, like completely visually overhauled, because if you look back at those old maps, they are very blocky, not a lot of detail, and while some of them are very wacky in that they just would not work, some of them are actually pretty decent. So I think it would be neat to kind of have that tribute to the older Call of Robloxias in having some of those maps that maybe people remember being updated, because while a lot of people do think of nostalgia when it comes to this new Call of Robloxia, the game is just really very different from any of that. It doesn't seem like there's going to be any aspect that is reminiscent of the Call of Robloxia thing when it comes to like the game on the surface, because the character models are different, the bullet mechanics are different, the maps are going to be completely different, the quality of everything is just raised to a different level, and so it is just kind of going to be a World War II shooter, it seems, which is fine. But as far as getting that nostalgia, I think that bringing things into the game like the maps that some people love that would work, that are overhauled, and maybe some of the iconic guns would be a good route to go with that. That's just my little tangent on that though, and those are my main big takeaways from playing on this test. I played for about an hour and really enjoyed myself, and if this doesn't get you excited for the new Call of Robloxia, I don't know what will. I do think it is important, however, to note that this is all work in progress. So what we see here can definitely be changed, removed, or updated. So do not take what this is as what is going to be presented in the gameplay that is actually going to be the thing when the game is out, because this is, I imagine, far from what the gameplay is going to look like. While some stuff might stick, like the kill feed stuff and kill bonuses stuff, I really like that, and that seems pretty rounded out already. That might stick, but anything else could go. As you know, character models are going to be getting updated, animations are getting updated. We don't even have stuff like grenades yet and whatnot. So yeah, just take this video with a bit of a grain of salt, essentially, because this is just one small tidbit of what the game could look like. So just be mindful of that. I think for now, we can just appreciate the progress that it has taken so far. After all, doing something like building movement physics from the ground up seems like no easy feat from a development standpoint. I'm both excited and interested in seeing how this game can progress in the future, as this seems like a really strong start already, and people in the server also seem to really enjoy themselves as well. That's all I've got for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.